I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your support and nice comments, as I haven't been very vocal and online. Some of you may know I really struggle with being seen and to be out in the open and public and to be communicating with people. However, I really do love psychology and I like sharing information and I love knowledge. So one of the fascinations that I guess that I've really had is how the brain actually works. And to this day, it's a pretty complex computer system that many of us are still trying to figure out. Brain and nervous system wire for your protection, and that's a pretty common knowledge nowadays thanks to the internet. However, the brain is more complex than we actually realize. The brain is made to problem solve and it is made to be able to predict, and this prediction is based on past experiences. Many people will experience the brain's monkey mind, where it will jump from task to task, or sort of like a movie running through your brain all the time. This is pretty typical for your brain because it has a hard time figuring out how to stay on one task. Many of us will kind of resort to our brain taking over rather than our brain answering to us. Jump from things like conclusions, or it will jump to different scenarios, and this is kind of prepping your nervous system. And brain only knows what it actually knows, so it can't predict based on future experiences that you haven't had yet. In simple terms, this is kind of how our identity is shaped. A really common theme for people to not want to have an ego, but ego is super important. Ego is kind of the structure for, or the father, based on these lower regions of our brain, and ego kind of governs over these types of way of being about ourselves, and everything put together is based on how we are structured. We are interpreting things that going along within your day as your brain jumping from one task to another or another scenario. Brain does not like uncertainty and it feels like a threat. But the cool thing is that your brain works for you and not the other way around. So you can always tell it to, or keep your brain kind of. It's definitely a practice, and it is a practice that is ongoing. Something that I generally struggle with a lot. My brain is super loud and it can be really chaotic, and I'm sure that a lot of people can really relate to that. So your ego is definitely important, and it is needed for kind of the structure within your system. So absolutely do not agree with the fact that people should have an ego death or to not have an ego at all, because if you didn't have an ego. I hope this helps, and I hope this little information helps. And if you don't know, I am a life coach and I like to study motivation. I'm also an artist, and